What up? What up? It is time to talk about the worst part of fantasy football, and it is those damn injuries. Oh man. We're not gonna go in order of like biggest injury or anything. We're gonna do it due diligently. I'm gonna go through every single team here. And let's start off with the Cincinnati Bengals. Their DT BJ Hill, hamstring injury, did not return versus the Chiefs. They could be pretty easy to run on if they end up missing a guy like BJ Hill. Not too fantasy relevant, but defensive tackles, very huge for the game of football. Cleveland Browns, David Bell, hip injury, and running back Pierre Strong, hamstring injury, both ruled out versus the Giants. Neither one too fantasy relevant. How about for the Green Bay Packers? Their O lineman, Jordan Mason, ruled out against the Colts. Man, I know we never really talk about offensive linemen, but it sucks during the injury part of things when we have to talk about these linemen because it usually just means worse things for the quarterbacks. I know we don't care about Malik Willis, but we want the offensive line to stay healthy until Jordan Love gets back. How about for the Colts? DeForest Buckner got ruled out. He got carted off against the Packers. And the Rook, Latu, hip injury, ruled out also in that game. Man, some bullshit. And how about for the Jags? Tank Bigsby, like a lot of people were like hyped like on him, like maybe being a thing, going and picking him up and potential flex. He went out with a shoulder injury. We'll hear more coming this week. We don't know the severity of it. Andre Cisco as well went out during the game, did not return, groin injury.
Let me hit that ball.
Now we get to the Kansas City Chiefs. Isaiah Pacheco. Yesterday, they diagnosed it as like an ankle injury. And like today, if you guys have already seen the news, they say it's a fractured fibula. Let's see. We got to wait for more news. We got to wait for the CT and the MRI. Thanks, Darren, for keeping us up on that. Hopefully, we hear about it today. But Steele, P. Ryan, those are going to be the first people that people are going to think about when it comes to the immediate replacements. Oh, yeah. And I totally forgot for the Jaguars, Evan Ingram. These are all guys who got hurt during the game, but Evan Ingram, he got hurt in pregame warmups. Hamstring injury, did not play at all. Hope that didn't screw you over. I hope you saw that. Make sure you subscribe because we were on that as soon as it happened. We were on it, told everybody about it, but you got to be here watching on a Sunday. We got the dopest pregame show, though, going on. Anywhere on YouTube or TV, this is the dopest one. The Chargers, Herbert underwent x-rays, and I think we're just waiting. I think they said that he just got rolled up on a play in the second half. We'll know more status in the coming days. We just got to keep paying attention. Junior Colson, hamstring, did not return to the game. The other LA team, the Rams, Cooper Kupp, ankle injury. Oh, man. And he was wearing a walking boot like after the game. I don't know why he wouldn't be wearing a walking boot because you want to just make sure that you're not applying pressure or like anything like that could hurt it any worse. But it sucks to have to see that. Hopefully we find out stuff soon about him. The Rams, man, no Kupp, no Puka. Could be really bad over there. Could be all Demarcus Robinson time. John Johnson III suffered a shoulder injury, left the game as well. He's been doing pretty good for our IDP peeps over there. How about for the Vikings? Dude, Justin Jefferson. Oh, man. This sucks. Justin Jefferson, they say, after suffering a quad contusion, is what they say. So we're gonna need to monitor his practice this week, and it all starts with Wednesday practice. Make sure you guys are here. We'll be throwing out those kind of things here on the morning show. We usually are on the morning show long enough to where we hear a good amount of practice news. For the Patriots, Joanna Man Bentley left the game with a shoulder injury. That sucks. For the Saints, Taysom Hill, he left the game, chest injury, did not return in that game. For the Giants, this one was pretty controversial because apparently they didn't really have anybody who could be a backup kicker, and then Graham goes out and then they're screwed on kickers. For the Jets, CJ Mosley, man, he got carted to the locker room. Foot injury, they say. We're going to need to monitor his status. Jermaine Johnson, feared to have suffered a torn Achilles. Oh, man. He really hasn't been much. And for fantasy football, it sucked. Like, he's probably droppable. Jerome Baker for the Seahawks. Shout out to JBD. He had a hamstring injury, did not return. Sucks. For the Tampa Bay Bucks, Vita Vea. They believe he suffered an MCL sprain against the Lions. And we'll see if Vita Vea is out. That means it's going to be a little bit easier to run on the Bucks because he's one of those guys who's just clogs up the entire middle of that line. And Tennessee Titans, Tajay Spears, a ankle injury. He left, did not return versus the Jets. And the last one, so he didn't leave the game. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Literally all of these guys are like from guys who left the game. He did not. But we saw that he got hurt and he went down for a little bit of a spell. And they pretty much said that it was, what was it? They said it was determined that he only had a contusion and cramping is what they say. So hopefully it's nothing really serious. For everyone who's just curious about Tua, he already said that he's not going to retire. That's the only news that we got so far since his concussion on Thursday, but that was a part of this week. So yeah, I guess we should mention Tua that he left the game due to concussion. He got really jacked up and we have no idea the timetable for him returning, but he came out and said that he is not retiring. Joe Mixon, someone who got hurt in yesterday's game but ended up coming back. And they said he's getting an MRI on his ankle done today. So we're going to wait for more news on that. And he's got rolled up like pretty bad by TJ Edwards, like his ankle just all the way like underneath TJ Edwards. And it was just, yeah, it was in a real shitty position. We still got Monday Night Football to come, but hopefully you guys got these dubs even with these injuries. And if you need a Monday Night Miracle, throw it in the chat right now, wherever you are. Throw it in the chat, throw it in the comments. And if it's your first time here, hit that subscribe button and click on one of the videos that YouTube says that you will like from this channel. Go ahead, click it, click it, click it, click it, click it.